Good evening and welcome to the Blueprint Explosive Exclusive. I'm Madhavdas GK. Viewers, the streets of Nagpur witnessed complete mayhem last night as rioters went on a rampage in parts of the city over the anti-Aurangzeb demonstration held by VHP and Bajrang Dal. 34 police personnel injured, 5 civilians wounded, 38 vehicles damaged, 5 FIRs registered and 47 arrests so far. This is the gist of the aftermath of the violent clashes. Rioters were so emboldened that they didn't even shudder a moment before attacking the men in khaki who put their own lives on the line to ensure safety of public. Now, multiple videos of the violence have surfaced, and now on the Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, we will show you an exclusive CCTV footage which shows how cops were chased, hounded and attacked by the mob. In this footage, you can see that in the midst of chaos, cops are running for cover and enter a house to shield themselves. Soon after, rioters armed with stones in their hands and some with their faces covered reach the spot and start raining stones towards the house where the cops took shelter. They keep hurling stones until a man intervenes and urges them to stop. Let's quickly take this across to Arunil. Arunil, this is very, very shocking footage because it shows how the cops who are meant to maintain the law and order and protect the citizens were targeted deliberately by this mob that's seen pelting stones, and some of them even, in fact, armed is what we are told.
Well, that is right, Madhav. In fact, the police personnel in Nagpur, many of them we have spoken to eyewitnesses to this horrific violence that unfolded in the central part of Nagpur. They have been saying that when they reached the Mughal area of Nagpur, wherein they expected stone pelting from a certain section of crowd that had gathered there, mob that had gathered there. But astonishingly, appallingly, the mob had other weapons with them as well. They basically carried knives, some had axe. One person basically attacked a DCP level senior police officer. Mr. Niketan Kadam was attacked by an axe, and he's been later admitted in a Nagpur-based hospital as well. We have exclusively spoken to Mr. Niketan
Yes,
Kadam.
stay with us, Arunil, because that's what we are going to read out now for our viewers. The rioters who are armed to the kill have attacked this 2019 batch IPS officer DCP Niketan Kadam with an axe. Maharashtra Chief Minister Fadnavis spoke to DCP Kadam and expressed solidarity, hailing him for holding his ground in the midst of the violence and mayhem. The brave DCP has spoken to Times Now, detailing what had transpired. In his conversation with Arunil, he has revealed that the mob was armed with dangerous weapons such as sticks, knives, petrol bombs and even an axe. He stated that stone pelting happened even from the top of buildings, suggesting that the entire attack was planned. Listen in to this exclusive conversation.
Mr. Kadam, what exactly happened yesterday? We can see in the visuals as well, your hand is profusely bleeding.
Actually, yesterday, there were a lot of crowd of antisocial elements gathered, and in one of the lanes, my team of around 10 to 12 people was trapped. Crowd of 100 antisocial elements. They came with the sticks, some petrol bottles, and when I saw it, then I had only one option: to stop that crowd, because otherwise that team of 10 people, this crowd would have done anything with them. But one of the person had axe with him,
okay,
and he attacked with that axe.
Do you feel, because we have several videos where it can be seen that police are being attacked in a planned manner? It seems like police is hiding somewhere trying to save their lives, and the mob is particularly trying the hiding cops, basically attacking the hiding cops, and not in a very light manner. It is done in a way to hurt and to damage the cops. Did you, because you were obviously on the forefront, did you get this feeling?
Yes, as I said, there were some antisocial elements, and after, in the later part of the attack, actually there were stone pelting from above the buildings also. Means they have stopped stones over the terraces. They were throwing stones from the above. And
All right, and we have the Commissioner of Police from Nagpur joining us live. Mr. Ravindra Singhal is with us. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Mr. Singhal, a very, very shocking action that has been taken on your police officer, Mr. Nikam. And at this point of time, are we aware of the perpetrators who carried out this dastardly attack? Because as per the officer, this attack was pre-planned. Is the suggestion coming in given the kind of actions that have taken place on ground? Mr. Singhal.
Yeah. So he was there with us yesterday when we were doing this operation and we were handling this situation. So everybody was ready, and the way we have handled the situation, I think that's appreciable. We were able to contain it in that particular area, and nothing much had happened post incident.
Right. And can you get us an update as to who are the persons carrying out this violent act? Have they been arrested? How many of them now? What is the count of the number of persons who have been detained? Because there's plenty of footage available as far as the perpetrators are concerned.
So we have apprehended more than 50 people till now. And now I'll get the additional statistics if it has increased more. And secondly, we are able to impose the curfew properly, and people are also helping us in that. We are taking all strict actions against those who are indulging into this kind of riotous situation.
Right. But how are they so emboldened? Because several of the footage that's coming out, we put on some of the footage here. How are they so emboldened to actually be attacking police officers? I don't know if you can see the screen, but we're playing out some of this CCTV footage, which shows these rioters so emboldened. What exactly led to this kind of a situation where they are seen attacking not just Mr. Nikam, but other police officers also?
So you can see that we were handling the situation the best possible way. There were two communities which were face to face, and police was able to separate them, and we were on the forefront. We were able to push them back, and that is why there was no death, or I would say too much of injury to public.
Right. And any organization that has been involved in organizing these violent protests, have you been able to get any information regarding who is behind this?
So that's what we are doing. We are using all the digital footprints available with us. We are also watching the social media and also the videos which are available, and our command control center. Everybody is working in this direction so that we are able to establish the link between the people who actually were behind this. That's what we are doing.
Right. And also, you've been quoted, and there's been other reports also coming in that there were some rumors floated about some books, holy books allegedly being burnt, which were, completely wrong. Do you think that those rumors were deliberately floated to try and mobilize these crowds?
No, I can tell you one thing, that in such kind of situations, people try to float all kind of rumors. And that is why we always say during such situations that don't believe on such rumors. And if you see or if you hear any such thing, you must talk to us and get them cleared. And we also tell them that don't write anything on social media which can create a conflict between two or more communities. So that is what we do. And here also people were trying to do that, and we were able to later on contain it all.
Right. And so where does this huge amount of arms and ammunition come from? Is there any information regarding that? Because the perpetrators appear to be heavily armed.
No, there is no such thing. If you see, they were only pelting the stones which are available readily there because the construction activities going on. There's a metro work which is on there, and they had used these stones. If you can see that, there was no sword, there was no weapon as such.
So swords are seen. Mr. Kadam has been attacked with an axe. Petrol bomb was being quoted by the Deputy CM. Are those reports all wrong? And there's footage, in fact, of several of them.
If you can show me those footages, I'll be more than happy, because I was personally present there, and there's no sword. And in this one incident where Mr. Kadam is hurt, that was strange, and that person attacked him with the axe, and this is what he got injured in.
Right. And this Deputy CM statement that there was a petrol bomb used, that's wrong according to you?
These petrol bombs, we are seeing whether it was used, because if you see on the whole street, we are checking it, and those who indulged into it, if they were seen, we are trying to get the footages. And if we get that, and we will be taking action on them, because I have also heard that it was there. And if it is so, we will of course won't spare these people.
So, well, sir, we are playing out the footage. I don't know if you can watch Times Now at the moment, but we are actually playing out some of the footage. Yeah, those are the footage of some of the swords, or at least what appear to be swords, and can be made out in the nightlight. You can see over there, those are the swords that at least have come to us in terms of reports from on the ground in Nagpur. And we certainly hope that, yeah.
So if they were sports, they would have used it. I can tell you with all conviction that they were the sticks and the bullies which they used during the construction. So that is what I was just telling you all.
Right. And also, sir, last question to you. There are reports that, these mobs that were on rampage have deliberately targeted cars looking at community symbols. Is that a fact that they were targeting people of a community, or is that something that is wrong information?
See, there were damages of the vehicles in some places. And if you see on any of the cars, I could not find. I'll check from this angle also, because till now nobody has said that it was a community-based damage of cars. That I'll have to check.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Singhal, for taking the time out and speaking to us here on Times Now. All right. Let me quickly go back to Arunil, who's in fact spoken to Mr. Kadam. In fact, Arunil, the DCP telling you about the act on him, the Commissioner of Police saying that there were no arms. What have you seen on ground?
Well, Madhav, when we reached the on-ground situation as well, the entire road from Mahal to basically another point wherein several vehicles were tossed up. On the road as well, we could see sticks were there. There were stones that were being pelted by by the mob that had gathered. In fact, there is a visual of a truck as well. The entire trolley of the truck is filled with stones. The Maharashtra CM Devendra Fadnavis also mentioned about the fact that when cops tried to recover stones, an entire truck, the trolley of a truck could be filled with it. He also mentioned about the fact that how more than 30 police personnel, that includes 3 DCP rank officers, one of them is Mr. Kadam, with whom we basically spoke to as well. They were brutally attacked with extremely dangerous weapons.
All right. Arunil, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks so much for getting us all those reports on ground. Let's quickly take it across to our panelists now. Joining us with us is Advocate Aniket Nikam, who's a spokesperson of the BJP. With us also is Shyam Prasad Nikal, leader of the Congress party. But I want to go first and foremost to Sakshana Salgar, who's a national spokesperson of the NCP Samajwadi Party. Sakshana Salgar, you heard the police officers themselves, injured NCP SP, yes, as I mentioned, Sharad Pawar. Sakshana Salgar, your response to the version coming in from the cops that this was some kind of a premeditated, pre-planned attack. They're saying not only were weapons used and even police officers charged at with them, but also there were a huge number of stones, perhaps enough to fit a tractor trailer, that were found from the spot.
See, sir, Nagpur is a headquarter of RSS and Home Minister CM belongs to Nagpur. Till it happens, actually, I strongly demand that Devendra Fadnavis should resign from their post as a CM. He is the failed Home Minister of the state. Because it is happening only in the Nagpur and he is the responsible person for that. MLA from BJP, Rane sons, last 15 days they are talking about Aurangzeb, Muslim, Hindu, always talking about the Muslim, Hindu. They are the responsible behind these riots in the Nagpur. Whatever happened in the Nagpur.
Madam, what about those who are actually causing the pandemonium on ground? Would you not say that they are responsible? Of course, at the governmental level, we will pose that question to the BJP spokesperson. But don't these people who are protesting on ground, everyone has a right to protest, but indulging in this kind of violence, arson, damaging vehicles, you will not say that these people are responsible for the violence on ground?
See, this is a prepared riot. It is a prepared violence.
By
इसके
whom?
लिए जिम्मेदार केवल बीजेपी महायुति के लोग हैं. मैं कहना चाहूंगी इसके मैं आपको डेटा दूंगी, इसका प्रूफ दूंगी कि पिछले 15 दिनों से last 15 days MNA Rane is talking about Aurangzeb and Hindu Muslim riots. Why?
Okay, let me bring it. Yeah, that's the whole point, madam. That was in Sambhaji Nagar. There was a protest, of course, in different parts of Maharashtra. But Aniket Nikam, it is your party's leaders who have been talking about this issue and have incensed the people of Maharashtra, which has led to this kind of a situation on ground. That's the argument coming from Sakshana Salgar. Respond to that, Aniket Nikam.
Madhavji, let me first tell you that nobody is beyond law. Our Chief Minister, who also holds the home portfolio, categorically made it clear today on the House of Legislative Assembly that all those who are responsible for whatever happened in Nagpur will be booked, they will be prosecuted and appropriate charges will be filed against them. Now we have to understand the chronology of events. The workers of VHP and Bajrang Dal were holding a very peaceful protest in Nagpur seeking demolition of the tomb of Aurangzeb. Now when this was happening, there was a rumor that was spread in the city by certain vested group which resulted into this unrest. Now you are aware that there are 5 FIRs that have been filed by the police in respect of the riots that happened in Nagpur. It is also seen, and it was also mentioned by the Home Minister and the Chief Minister, that specific houses, specific localities were targeted, which indicates that this was a pre-planned, premeditated attack. Now, police will certainly go to the root of the matter because they are at the stage of investigation. They will unfold as to what was the larger conspiracy behind this. But what the spokesperson of NCP is saying is that because the BJP Chief Minister belongs from Nagpur and therefore he should own this responsibility, I don't see any sense in what she's saying. Because the Chief Minister has been very clear. He spoke with the injured police officers also, and he is in unison with the police on this point that no one should be spared, whoever it is. And when law and order is an issue, certainly the Chief Minister has made it clear that irrespective of who the people involved are, whatever their mindset is, if they are seen on the wrong side of law, action will be taken against them. But what is most important is that when rumors are being spread like this, which are trying to create a divide and rift in the society, it is the job of the police, which they are doing right now, to investigate.
Let me bring in others. Shyam Prasad Meka, your response to the BJP spokesperson who says, don't blame us, blame those who spread irresponsible rumors that led to this kind of a protest, where in fact violence was a part of it. The previous protest was completely peaceful. Your response, Mr. Meka.
See, Madhav, this is not the time to do tu-tu-mai-mai between BJP, Congress, NCP and all that. The issue is we are seeing a grave situation in the state of Maharashtra. We want the government of Maharashtra, not the BJP or Congress or NCP. It's the government of Maharashtra which should be accountable. They need to come out and put the facts straight, and they need to investigate. And now, on the second aspect of it, throughout the country, not just Nagpur, throughout the country, BJP wants to thrive in this political atmosphere. BJP wants this kind of atmosphere in the country, and BJP encourages.
What atmosphere do they want? Are you saying, sir?
Don't make statements without having any basis.
What is the specific point you're trying to make?
No, the specific specific point I'm trying to make is BJP wants an atmosphere where it is between us and them throughout the society. In that, they want to do their politics.
Aniket Nikam. Okay, politics of polarization is your charge. Aniket Nikam, this is all being deliberately done by BJP. Says Shyam Prasad Meka. Quick response.
It's an old argument. It's an old argument which they have been making for time immemorial. In recent Lok Sabha elections, they have been answered well. In the Vidhan Sabha elections of Maharashtra, they have been answered well, where the people of Maharashtra had voted for the BJP, which believes in politics of development, not in politics of appeasement. Therefore, for them to make such baseless comments that we want to pit one against the other is really of any point, is absolutely without any sense. Because again, I would say at the cost of repetition, when Vidhan Sabha elections happen in Maharashtra, they try to raise all such fake, false narratives. But people did not fell for it because people believed that BJP has been working towards developing.
Let me get a quick word from Mr. PK Jain though. Mr. PK Jain is also with us, a senior police officer and a former additional DGP of Maharashtra. Mr. Jain, the manner in which this young officer, Mr. Kadam, has been attacked, and he said that it appears to be a pre-planned attack because several of these protesters were armed, and of course huge amount of stones, etc. that's been found from there. They've targeted vehicles, indulged in arson, so on and so forth. Your response, sir, because you know this kind of an attack being seen on a police officer, or the brazenness with which various other police officials are being charged upon by the riotous mob, appears to be rather unusual.
Madhav, good evening. Thank you very much for inviting me here. I only have a few observations to make. It has become almost a pattern now. Any festivities on the part of Hindu community, whenever there is an attack anywhere in the country, it is always well planned, well prepared for, well provided for, whether it is in terms of weapons or stones or any other missiles that you can think of. So there's no reason for me to presume otherwise that this was not a well planned attack. So many people coming out on the streets armed with weapons and stones and then chasing the policemen is now becoming more of a norm. So I think the police also have to pull up their socks and be prepared. Whenever there's an event like this, this area in Nagpur is very clear cut. There's a very clear cut divide. There's only a road between the Muslim community households and between the Hindu locality. And every time there's a law and order situation, it is only a matter of only crossing the road and damaging or attacking. In this case also, it appears that the attack was targeted. It was well prepared. Now, the only thing I can say is that the policemen also, when they respond to this kind of a situation, they should be properly, their safety guard and equipment has to be in place. I have seen most of the police officers land up there without wearing a helmet. They go only in their caps. So whenever there's an attack, there have been incidents where the stones have been thrown from the rooftops and they land on the police officer's head and the policemen have died in the past. So I think this is a time when one should go into these areas prepared as if it's a battle zone.
Okay.
That is one part. Second part is the preparation. Whenever a situation is igniting, the police are aware of it. Preventive action should be taken. A reinforcement should be sent in such areas so that the trouble can be nipped in the bud. And the third thing is after action. After action should be so strict. In Maharashtra, we've had a policy of kind of zero tolerance to the communal riots. The moment there's a situation like this, the mantra has been maximum force at the first point of time. If that kind of an action is taken, I think the situation can still be brought under control in the least possible time.
We'll have to leave it there, sir. Mr. P.K. Jain, Advocate Aniket Nikam, Shyamprasad Meka, Sakshana Salgar. Unfortunate turn of events there in Nagpur. And certainly, of course, remains to be seen what the investigation brings out as to how this kind of an unprecedented situation of violence took place in Nagpur. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.